Welcome to this video, and my name is Eric for those who don't know me. So I'm a business consultant and a project manager at a global scale. So I am not just talking on behalf of Kenyans, but I'm talking to anyone who might come across this video. So today I want to show you exactly what rich people mean when they say that the poor people poor people will just remain to be poor for the rest of their lives. So stay tuned, and if you're new to this channel, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video so that you can get more of my free contents each and every week. Let's get started. I created this chart to show you the differences in mindset between a poor person and a rich person. So let's look at it and try to understand what really motivates really rich people to continue making a lot of money and making that money work for them. So when you look at the poor person here, the mindset of a poor person is that rich people worship the devil, or in other words, money is evil. And if you are brought up in a poor family, most of them, these families, they have very rich beliefs in the aspect that money is meant for greed purposes. It perpetrates evil, and that rich people maybe will go to hell. They don't have talent, and in most cases poor people be like, I just require rich amount of money for survival reasons. While on the other end, the rich person's mindset is like, money is meant to buy assets. Money is for setting up businesses. I can also pay my employees using money. Money will give me power. Look at politicians, for example. These guys have money, and for obvious reasons we can tell why our money is getting lost through corruption, because these guys want power. I didn't say that you should steal money or do evil businesses so that to make money. But my point is, when you have money, you have power. You respected. You see, you can employ people. You can create business opportunities and invest in them. So now, having a background of that, I'll take you step by step and see how rich people and poor people make and spend their money, and that's make the difference between them. Now, if you look at this chart that I've created here, you realize that I've acknowledged Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. The guy wrote this book, and he has illustrated how a poor person thinks and operates and how they make money and spend it. So I'll try to explain to those who have not maybe read the book, or if you read the book and you didn't understand what he tried to mean. So a poor person maybe will go and gamble, that is on sport betting, or go maybe do some manual labor job and earn some little money in form of a salary. So the major source of income for a poor person or the low income earner is the salary. So when you get paid the salary, so now you have expenses like taxes, you have to pay rent, or maybe you'll be kicked out of the house. You have to commute to the place of your work, and maybe basically what you're doing here now, you getting income to pay for your basic needs only, and that is the cycle of a poor person. So now you realize that your salary and your basic needs, they will have a break even. They'll break even, and you'll be left with zero, and you can't afford to buy any assets. You see, assets, according to Kiyosaki's explanation, is something that pays you, something that earns you money when you're not necessarily working. So you're not investing your hours when you have assets. So in other words, the poor person will invest his hours working, hustling, gambling, betting, and risking the little amount of money that they have. And so if you make your math well, you realize that all the money that the poor person makes goes to the bank account of the rich. How? This is because of their expenditure. The expenditure is what the rich person sells, as we'll see on the next chart. Having looked at the financial statements of a poor person, now I'll take you through the financial statements of a middle class person. And when I'm talking of a middle class person, according to Robert Kiyosaki, these are people working in the nursing careers, teaching careers, mechanics, technicians, and all those people in the civil service. So now the main source of income is the salary, of course, and salary you get it. This is a paycheck. You see, a paycheck you get it once a month after 30 days of your work. So when you get the paycheck, obviously you know that most of these people, they are in jobs that they have to pay income taxes, and certainly you find out that they want to live in their own houses, so they take mortgages, and these are housing loans, and they also have fixed expenses like electricity bills, water bills, all that. They will buy food just like anybody else. They will buy clothing. You see, these are people who maybe are working in white collar jobs and blue collar jobs, and they just need to look good and decent each and every day they are reporting to work. And maybe when they get this paycheck, you see, now they start booking for tours. They want to go for a vacation in Singapore. They want to go to the Caribbean, all that, to the Caribbean area and all that. So you realize that their money cascades down here to paying liabilities, and these are liabilities that cut off a huge chunk of their money. So perhaps these guys might be left with something to save, but anyways, a lot of their money in terms of expenses go to the bank account of the rich, just like the poor person. That said, you realize that they don't have remaining money or adequate money to buy assets. That's why you find that every time this person quits their job, most likely they are going to become bankrupt. This is because they have nothing else. They don't have assets working for them, adding to their salary. So this path is blocked. So we'll look at the last chart that involves a rich person and understand why they stand out and beat the middle class and poor person in terms of finances. Now, to this far, you should have realized that the sizes of these boxes are reducing as we go to the expense level. But in terms of income, the income of a rich person or a wealthy person, you realize that it has expanded, and it's not even a job. Rich people do not even work in jobs. These are landlords. These are people who are investing in stocks, people who have invested in bonds, government bonds. They have made inventions like, or maybe music. And looking at their assets, we have real estate. These are landlords, as I said. They have invested in stocks. They own shares in some big companies. They own government bonds. Government bonds are some forms of loans. So the government borrows money, and if you have that cash at hand, you can deposit it into a bank and purchase the bonds. So when the bonds mature, you get some interest. So when you have intellectual properties, it's like now when you are an innovator. So when you patent your intellectual properties, in case someone uses the property, you get royalties. And that is now all this, if you realize, it's called passive income. So you're not working directly. You're not the input is not your hours. So you put hours up front so that you won't be working for the money later. So you be gaining money even when you're sleeping. So this is the model of a rich person. So the income statement of a rich person is is wide at the income level and very narrow at the expense level. Sometimes rich people, they don't operate using their own money, so they can mortgage a house which they will use for rental purpose, and the rental house will generate rental income. And as we saw in the financial statements of a poor person, you realize that this rent is paid obviously by these poor people who rent their houses. As I said, I don't undermine the poor people. I understand. I didn't say I'm rich, by the way. So looking at these mortgages, looking at the consumer loans, looking at the credit cards, you can understand very well that the rich guys, they they have assets that are making money on autopilot, and this money can pay for their liabilities easily. And that's why you find out that if this guy has a high income scale, it will make him even more richer, and his income here can be plowed back to buying more assets, which will keep on adding to his net worth. You see, assets like this are some form of investments, and these do not just give you some cash flow. What they do is generate your net worth, so you become a person with a good net worth, and people recognize you, people start respecting you and associating you to the rich. So this is the end of this video, and I hope that you've understood how the mechanics of rich and poor works. So it's up to you now to judge where you lie and make some changes in your life so as to improve. And if you know very well, Warren Buffett said that if you can't make money when you sleep, then you work until you die. Now you understand why the phrase is so. Thank you. Please make sure to subscribe to this video and hit the notification bells to get more videos of this kind. Thank you.